Well, hello. Well, darn it. Put that back where it goes. Sorry about the noise there. I hope you are doing well today. Today I'm going to be checking out this cool dinosaur book I found at the store. And I used to love dinosaurs way back when I was a little kid. My mom even signed up for like a dinosaur of the book, a dinosaur of the month book thing kind of deal. I don't remember what it was, but I remember as a kid having all these dinosaur books. Like each book was its own dinosaur. It was so cool. I remember a couple months ago she told me she found them in the basement. Might have to go check that out. But anyway, today I found this book. I was at Costco the other few days ago, and I saw this really cool book of dinosaurs. And I thought, you know what? I'm gonna get that. So I did. Hold on a second. Where's my other thing at? Where's my other thing at? I'm unprepared. I'm lacking in professionalism. Well, dang it. I gotta find it. There it is. Nah, found it. All right. Hope the music isn't too loud or too quiet. I got this big playlist of copyright-free fantasy music that I got about a week ago off a Humble Bundle. I made a new playlist out of it. I think some of the songs are a little quiet and some of them are a little loud at parts. So I got it at a spot that I don't think is too bad. Hopefully it's not distracting. Oh, you know what? Let me pop out my chats in case anyone says something I can see them. Let's see here. Pop out chat. All right, we'll move it over here for YouTube. And then I gotta remember how to do it for Twitch as well. Let's see. Chat, my chat, pop out chat. There we go. Chats are popped out. Now if there's anyone does leave a chat, I should be able to see it. All right. Let's see here. All right. Yes, anyway, let's get to the book. It's a really cool book. Well, parts of the book are really cool. I don't know about how cool the book is, but the parts I like about the book is really cool. So, let's go ahead and switch over to, let's see, a little bit. We'll switch over to, which one is it? Oh yeah, Dust Tam. Oh, that's right, I rearranged this. There's my desk. I forgot I put the background on everything. It used to just be the desk camera, but this is the book here. Ready? Here we go. Let's see how we do. Like Dinosaur. Whoa, look at that. Whoa, what's going on with that picture, huh? That's weird. Look at that. That's so cool. Nom 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 nom. Yeah. Let's flip it up. Look at that. That is cool. There's several of these on there. Yeah. Nom nom nom. So neat. I like that's just awesome, I think. Let's see here. Close that down. All right. don't need that up. We can move this over. I don't think I'm going to do any game giveaways today. That's something I usually do. So I'll give out games. I've got a picker wheel with a whole bunch of games on it, and we'll draw games at random, and then if after a certain period of time, like if I'm playing a game with a match in it, or after a certain period of time, we'll give out the game if somebody wants it, and then we'll draw for a new game. But I don't think I'm going to do that today, since we'll just be reading a book. We'll just be reading a book today. Alright. Well, let me get to it, I suppose. Got nothing else to do. So let's open up this book. Oh, it's by... Oop. Let me move my can of soda. It's a foticular book. I think that's how you pronounce it. Foticular. Created by Dan Cannon. Written by Kathy Woolard. See 8 awesome dinosaurs in living motion. So cool. So cool. Let me adjust this a little bit. Hopefully that helps. Get the microphone a little farther away from me, since I've got to get so close over the desk here. Oh, you prop it up against something. Look at that. That's so cool. Oh man, look how that moves. That's neat. I like that. Anyway, let's get on. Yeah, I think it's because it's got a... when I first got this, I was like, how is it like? Because normally this kind of thing, you gotta move it, like your eye moves and it adjusts. So I was like, how is it just? Well, it's got a thing here. It's got this. It must be doing something down there inside the page here to cause that to happen. As I see, and it's got this that pulls on it and moves, and that's just cool. So cool. All right, let's... Oh, no dinosaur on this page. Let's see here. What's it say? It's got a page here. Dinosaurs stand at the crossroad of science and mythology, which makes them uniquely fascinating. No human... Can't see me since I'm looking down. I just looked up at my duck. No human has ever come face to face with a dinosaur. What are we calling dinosaurs? Okay. But we get better at guessing what they may have looked like. Forensic technology does an excellent job of recreating features based on bone fragments alone. And we have fossils that preserve texture, telling us that, for instance, the velociraptor had feathers. Huh. I've heard that. But, come on, Jurassic Park, they don't have feathers, so velociraptors don't have feathers. That's just a movie fact. And movies wouldn't lie to us about dinosaurs. Okay, right? I don't think so. Computer-aided biometric programs can analyze a particular bone structure at a particular size and give a lifelike representation of how a creature would move. Cool. All these things together enable the animators to do a wonderful job of imagining how a long-extinct animal may have looked while hunting for lunch or sparring with a predator. But an educated guess is still, in the end, just a guess. Oh crap, I forgot where I was. Where were I? There. Ah, and therein lies the wonder. When my father brought home a couple of little model toys from his job at the Smithsonian, I was particularly enthralled by the primordial form of the Triceratops. It was exciting to bring some of that wonder to life, and to think that perhaps some future paleontologist, paleontologist, whatever, may get his or her first glimpse of a dinosaur from one of these foticular images. Wow. Well, you know what? Let me turn on some more lights here. Let's get some more lights going. A little dark. There we go. A little more light. Sorry about the glare there. Let's see, what's this say? Helpful hints for using your foticular book. For best results, rest the book on a flat surface and turn each page slowly. Avoid pressing down on the area of the page below the window. The image needs to be able to move up and down. Store in a cool, dry place. All right. Next page. Oh, no, we got to read this page. Dinosaur. So you can get the whole page in there. Odd angle on my camera. Sorry about that. We'll move my... Oh, you didn't see my arm. I'm a dinosaur. I'm not a person. I'm a human. I'm a dinosaur. A dragon. I'm a dragon, not well, I mean... Dragon, I mean, where did the Mrs. Dragons come from? Probably from the remains of dinosaurs. But anyway... Dinosaur. Bum bum bum. Dinosaurs, especially the big ones, seem wildly improbable. Today, we coexist with plenty of improbable animals, like elephants and blue whales, giraffes and tigers, although their survival hangs in the balance. But it's still hard to imagine an everyday world where an animal like, what the, these Latin words, buddy, I tell you, these Latin words, where an animal like Sauroposeidon, 6 stories high, might suddenly pop out or pop up on the horizon, or where a Tyrannosaurus Rex could come charging through the woods, long teeth gnashing in pursuit of a lunch running for its life. You know, the Tyrannosaurus Rex is inspired by my name of Trash Dragon. You know that? I didn't put Rex on the end because I don't have that much hubris. I think I'm a king, but because Tyranna is short for tyrant. Saurus is like lizard or something in Greek, I think. So you got Latin Tyranna and Greek Saurus. So my name is Trash Dragon. So if I went the same way, it would be like, I looked it up, it'd be like Quisquelia Draken or something like that. Because the G becomes a K in Greek. Yeah. Anyway. But dinosaurs are simply members of the crowded family tree of life on Earth. And like all other animals, including human beings, they evolved from those that preceded them. By the time the dinosaurs arrived, Earth was already nearly 4.3 billion years old. Our planet had seen life evolve from one-celled organisms about 3.8 billion years ago, with some of the first known land animals, the many-legged insects known as millipedes, appearing about 400 million years ago. As the eons passed, life forms grew more and more complex. Meanwhile, planetary catastrophes occurred with depressing regularity. Well, that's not good. That's not good at all. We don't. Depressing regularity. Planetary catastrophes. Wiping out at least 70% of all existing species each time. And setting evolution off in a new branched path after the Permian Triassic extinction event 252 million years ago. One of those branches led to the dinosaurs. Wow, that's so cool. It sucks about all the creatures that died each time. 70%, that's nuts. Every time it's like meteor comes in from outer space, boom, 70% of all species dead. Wow. Imagine what would life be like on the planet if there was no extinction events, like ever? Would it still be like the first, like just millipedes running about everywhere? It's like giant millipedes. Would we be like smart talking space millipedes by now? With a space millipede empire? That'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool. Earth looked very different back then. Today, orbiting astronauts watch the familiar continents pass by, spread wide across the blue oceans. But had there been anyone looking at Earth from space all those hundreds of millions of years ago, just before the dinosaurs debuted, they would have seen a planet with one vast, deep blue superocean, which scientists have named Panthalassa? Panthalassa? I don't know. Scientists and their weird friggin' words, man. Just call it Super Ocean 1. Boom. Done. Or whatever era. The Permian Triassic Super Ocean. Boom. Done. And as Earth turned, a single landmass would gradually have loomed into view. The supercontinent Pangaea. Imagine North and South America, Europe, Africa, Asia, Australia, and Antarctica put together like a puzzle. Oh, new page. Here we go. We even got a picture. Look at that. I got a picture of what it looked like, maybe. Cool. Oh, hold on. That wasn't the end of the sentence. Put together like puzzle pieces. There we go. Finish the sentence. Pangaea stretched from the top to the bottom of the planet, surrounded by the endless expanse of Panthalassa. Or Panthalassa. Yeah, Panthalassa. Earth's climate was warmer then, but because Pangaea was so vast, its own climate varied wildly from north to south. Lush tropical rainforests likely covered the land near the equator, while the far south of Pangaea was cold and dry, its southernmost end dominated by a polar ice cap. Many life forms lived on Pangaea during the Permian period, from dragonflies and cicadas to amphibians and mammals like reptiles. Mammal-like reptiles? Wow, that's crazy. Mammal-like reptiles. So reptiles that gave birth to live young instead of laying eggs? That's cool. Wow, I didn't know that. Many more thrived in the immense ocean that lapped its shores. Among the land dwellers in the late Permian period were the, oh my goodness, Archoceras, whose names means ruling reptiles, which made a reptile an archosaur. Okay. Some distinguishing features included single openings in the bone in each side of the skull in the front of each eye, along with saw-edged teeth set firmly into sockets in the jaw. Archosaurus are the group of animals whose living descendants include crocodiles and birds. One line of archosaurs led to crocodiles and their relatives, another led to birds, and includes the original dinosaurs. Birds, in fact, are dinosaurs' direct descendants. Yeah, that's something interesting. Now, that's something that's been known, I suppose, for a while, but it's still interesting to think that dinosaurs became birds, right? I mean, all the who knows how many kinds of birds there are out there. They all just came from dinosaurs. Now, did they come from one? I don't know. Let's not get into that. Let's not speculate. Anyway, before the dinosaurs made their appearance, the planet was roiled by the Permian-Triassic extinction, the largest mass extinction event in its history. No one knows for sure what caused it, but scientists speculate that the release of debris and methane gas from massive volcanic eruptions may have triggered the disaster, which included a drastic drop in oxygen levels in the ocean and air. The event is also known as the Great Dying, since 70% of land species and up to 96% of ocean species perished over 200,000 years. Wow, that's insane. 96% of ocean species were just, and we're worried. And all these people make such a huge fuss about global warming and climate change today. Like, dude, all you need is enough volcanoes to go off at once. Just enough volcanoes to go off all at the same time, and boom, 70% of land species and 96% of ocean creatures are dead. Just dead. That's all we need. Just from volcanoes. From volcanoes. You really think your electric whatever is going to stop something like that from happening? That's terrible. Anyway, only a brief moment in the immense scale of geological time. Yeah, 200,000 years is a very brief moment in geologic time. Considering it was 250 million years ago, that's what? 100 times longer. Like, it was, well, let's see, 200,000, maybe 125 times as long. We are 125 times away from when it happened as how long it occurred to happen. That's crazy. So there could have been 125 events like that could have happened in between then and now. Well, something like that. Anyway, but the catastrophe also opened the way for new plants and animals to evolve and to test their staying power. That's right. Without these, it could be argued that global warming is good because that will cause animals need to evolve and become better than what they are, right? Allow space for new creatures to come into existence that may be, I don't know, I would say that humans is probably better than a millipede. So without these huge disasters, there wouldn't be humans, right? Maybe there's more human-like creatures if in 125 million years that evolved from, I don't know, a fish. There's like human fishes in another 125 million years if we get another big super calamity that cause them to evolve like that. It could happen. I mean, it could happen probably. I don't know. Enter the first dinosaurs, who emerged around 130 million years ago in the late Triassic epoch. They included Aeroraptor, Eoraptor, I don't know, a diminutive dinosaur who was likely an omnivore, and Eodorm, Eodoromaus, an 11-pound early relative of T. Rex. That's like a tiny dog T. Rex. That would be cool. We should bring these back. Bring back these as pets. That's what should be done. Bring back the instead of all this genetic stuff with humans, we should be like bringing back dinosaurs. Like China, get on that. Stop trying to perfect human beings. Bring back toy dinosaurs. Toys like teacup dogs. Bring back teacup dinosaurs. That's what we need. Teacup dinosaur pets. That's the future. That's $1 billion idea, guaranteed. Teacup Tyrannosauruses, future pet industry. Get on that. Get on that. Eventually, more than 1,000 species of prehistoric dinosaurs evolved to roam the Earth, and scientists think that many more remain to be discovered. Yeah, that's definitely true. I mean, we can't, they can't figure out how we got here from monkeys, right? So, yeah, you're definitely not gonna know all the dinosaurs. Come on. And that's just like a couple 100,000 years ago or whatever. This is a couple 100 millions of years ago. You're finding that shit out. Long-held beliefs about dinosaurs are often revised in light of new findings. New findings. From just discovered fossils to the DNA analysis of old ones. But dislodging old ideas isn't always easy, especially when they're popular. Yeah, popular ideas are better than true ideas. It's true. There are plenty of myths about modern animals that are amazingly persistent, despite being regularly debunked. Myths like camels store water in their humps. That's true, though. Camels do store water in their humps, right? Right? And they're saying it's wrong, but I don't know. That's what I always heard. Humps are actually packed full of fat, which is handy fuel. Oh, move up, there we go. Which is handy fuel. Where'd it go? Handy fuel. Oh, I'm like missing the first. Fuel is, let's start over. Myths like camels store water in their humps. The humps are actually packed full of fat, which is handy fuel for long plods through the desert. Or bats are blind. In fact, bats use their vision in tandem with echolocation to catch insects in low light. All right. But dinosaur myths are even more persistent, and perhaps that's because no human has ever seen an actual dinosaur. The last one disappeared nearly 66 million years ago. A period of time that's 125,000 times as long as the average human lifetime. Wow, that is a long time. That's really long. In addition, dinosaurs, especially the giants of the bunch, have a kind of mythic, where are we at? Mythic status all their own. Big dinosaurs are cool dinosaurs. So yeah, that's true. That's true. I've already lost my spot again. All kinds of their own. Yes, they fit seamlessly with human legends and fables featuring dragons, gargoyles, griffins, and other fantastic creatures. And that may be no accident. This song sounds loud, whatever. And that may be no accident. So many words, they all blurring together on me. Oh, it's because accident is cut in half. Accident. Both folklorists and scientists have suggested that the fossils of dinosaurs like Protoceratops and Stegosaurus, perhaps stumbled upon by ancient peoples for thousands of years, may have inspired some of those stories. That's what I think happened. Dragons is dinosaur bones, man. You find a T-Rex skull, like, whoa, that's some scary stuff. That's a dinosaur. Or a dragon. I think that's how that happened. Dinosaur bones is long dead dragons. Maybe there was a dragon dinosaur. Whoa, has anybody thought about that? Maybe there was a dinosaur that was just like a dragon. They breathed fire and shit and flew. It could happen. It could have happened. And their stories. When the thigh bone, the size of a human being, or an enormous beaked skull turns up along the path ahead, its finders can only imagine the animal it must have belonged to, a terrifying giant of a creature, with whom's one ancestors might even have done battle. Here be dragons indeed. Look at that. We got a picture of a dinosaur bones. Despite the legends of the ancient world, we now know that the human being and actual dinosaurs never met in person. The giant apes, or humanoids, evolved some 6 million years ago, nearly 60 million years after the dinosaurs vanished. And our own hominid group, modern Homo sapiens, was a latecomer arriving on the scene a mere 200,000 years ago. So all of what we know of these real-life, fantastic creatures has come from their fossilized remains and modern science. Very large fossils stand out from the crowd, so it's not surprising that perhaps to the longest standing popular myth about dinosaurs is that they were all gargantuan. The length of a city bus and the height of a construction tower or construction crane. And some really were, such as the giant Sauroposeidon. Never heard of this one. I mean, I said it earlier. But it's not a dinosaur. Is it like a new dinosaur? Because I don't remember that being in Jurassic Park. It's not. I don't recall that being one that came from Jurassic Park. The largest dinosaur ever discovered so far. The colossal Argentinosaurus, who may have weighed more than 106 tons, or 96.2 metric tons. Wow, that's a big boy. And whose body including its tail, measured up to 130 feet or 39.6 meters long. The famously ferocious T-Rex, by contrast, came in at a mere 9 tons, 8.2 metric tons, and 40 feet, 12.2 meters. He's a tiny boy compared to that other one. Tiny. Dinosaurs were a diverse, ever-changing group of reptiles in which some iconic species achieved staggering sizes never before and never since seen in land animals. But the fossil record, while incomplete, shows that dinosaurs came in a vast range of sizes, from rabbit. I'm sorry, I kind of burped a little bit when I said rabbit. Where was I? Shows that dinosaurs came in a vast range of sizes, from rabbit to rhino-sized and up. One of the smallest was the Microraptor, a bird-like dinosaur with 4 wings, one on each of its feathered arms and legs. Microraptor weighed just 2 pounds, 900 grams, right? And was a bit bigger than a crow. Studies show that it was covered in a mix of glossy black and iridescent feathers. This tiny dinosaur was a carnivore, catching and eating small mammals and birds. It was also a fan of fish. So am I. Fish is good. I like fish. Microraptors. Microraptors' coloring might have first seemed surprising, un-dinosaur-like. In the 20th century, it is widely assumed that dinosaurs wore camouflage colors of gray and brown, like today's large mammals. Such as elephants and rhinos, or muted green. Dinosaurs, however, were reptiles, and modern reptiles come in an astonishing array of colors and patterns. Lizards can be especially gaudy, wearing scaly skin in rainbow hues from neon green to orange, turquoise, pink, and purple, in splotches, zigzags, and intricate, nearly paisley-like patterns. A paisley dinosaur, that'd be a neon paisley dinosaur. That would be something to see. I'll never say this word right, man. I keep wanting to say paleontologists. It's paleontologist. That's why I keep, all right. Did I say it right I think I said it right that one time. Paleontologists, not paleontologists now say that there's no reason to think that all dinosaurs wore olive drab, but it's difficult to know what they wore instead, when bones are often the only evidence left behind. But studies are discovering that some dinosaurs, especially those in the bird-like crowd, may have been more colorful than we ever imagined. In 2010, a paleontologist, I keep saying it wrong, paleontologists, in 2010, paleontologists announced that they had examined the fossilized feathers of a dinosaur called, oh my goodness, what is this? Sinosaurus. I just spit on my book, sorry. Sinosauropteryx. That's the word. That's the word. Sinosauropteryx. Yep, that's it. Where was I? Sinosauropteryx, a meat-eating theropod like Velociraptor and T-Rex. There they found melanosums. There they found melanosums, pigment-producing factories, and a surprise. The bird-like, oh my goodness, Sinosauropteryx was likely covered in bristly orange feathers and may even have brandished an orange and white striped tail. Cool, it was a construction worker lizard. He was probably working on the side of the roads, you know? Filling in potholes and whatnot. Just call him that. Just call him safety vest lizard. There we go. Don't need to do with all the Sinosauropteryx's. Safety vest lizard. Boom. While today's reptiles all have scales, it's been a subject of debate in paleontology. Yep. As to whether some familiar... I'm sorry. Okay. While today's reptiles all have scales, it's been a subject of debate in paleontology as to whether some familiar dinosaurs long thought to be scaly, such as T-Rex, were in fact feathered, like Sinosauropteryx. But a 2017 study found evidence that the adult T-Rex was likely covered in scales, although a small patch of feathers wouldn't have been impossible. Going on with YouTube. Lose connection, reconnect, lose connection, reconnect. Alright, whatever. Well, it looks like it's back on, that's fine. A small patch of feathers wouldn't have been impossible. Paleontologists think that, unlike modern reptiles, dinosaurs weren't cold-blooded, with their body temperature varying wildly with the temperature of the surrounding air. Dinosaurs grew very quickly, burning energy at a higher rate than the typical modern reptile. This suggests that they may have been warm-blooded like birds and mammals. Some paleontologists think that dinosaurs may have been, mesotherms, without warm-blooded animals. Excuse me. Might have been mesotherms, something like that, without a warm-blooded animal's set thermostat, but with some degree of temperature control. Modern mesotherms include, among other species, great white sharks and leatherback turtles. Average body temperature may have varied by size, with smaller dinosaurs running at a relatively low temperature of, say, around 77 Fahrenheit or 25 C, and heavier The heavier the dinosaur, the hotter. The enormous Saurosop... Oh my goodness, I can't say it again. Sauroposeidon, some think, may have been a toasty warm 118 Fahrenheit or 48 Celsius. Wow, he's running hot, that's for sure. Like a human be dead if they was that hot, right? Was like 103 or 104? It was like running a temperature. You're sick. Poof. 118. Yeah. Some dinosaurs may have also been surprisingly attentive parents. While most modern reptiles are famous for abandoning their just-laid eggs, dinosaurs' closest living relatives, birds, tend their eggs until they hatch and then ferry back food for the hatchlings. Dinosaurs probably got their bad parent rap from the misnamed oviraptor, Ichthy, whose fossil was discovered in a nest full of eggs. Similar fossil finds have proved that the dinosaur was actually in her own nest. So not an egg thief, she was just guarding her own nest and she went dead. That stinks. Her own nest, perched on her own eggs to keep them warm. Likewise, Triceratops seems to have traveled in cozy family groups of adults and juveniles. And then there's the idea that dinosaurs were already marked for doom before their relatively rapid extinction, that they were a group of not very successful animals that would have disappeared no matter what. What? Really? Most paleontologists say that dinosaurs were actually extraordinarily successful at adapting to and evolving on an ever-changing Earth. They thrived on this planet for some 180 million years. The familiar dinosaurs we know today from movies, TV, and museum exhibits were finally bested by an intruder from outer space. It's a scenario that sounds more like the premise to a science fiction movie than what it is. The real story of the end of an epic reign on this planet. Rip dinosaurs, man. Successful for so long and then got by a space rock. Sucks. It's like taking a stray in a shootout or something, man. By the time dinosaurs did their disappearing act, Earth had become a very different looking planet. The supercontinent of Pangaea had gradually broken apart, continents drifting away like unmoored boats. In reality, they were anchored to continental plates, moving at a glacial pace. 66 million years ago, the broad geographical features of the Earth were similar to those of today, although an inland sea bisected North America. That's cool. I mean, like a North American Mediterranean Sea or something. Excuse me. An inland sea bisected North America. The Atlantic Ocean wasn't as wide, and Australia was still connected to Antarctica. Wow. And despite the myth that they inhabited only hot spots, dinosaurs lived virtually everywhere on Earth, including well above the Arctic Circle. That's crazy. Lizards don't live, I guess cold-blooded animals don't live north of this, so they couldn't have been cold-blooded, right? They'd had to have been warm-blooded. They'd had to have been warm-blooded to live above the Arctic Circle, definitely. Unless it was like unless it's like, like a migration thing. Where in the summer they migrated up and in the winter they migrated down. I mean, that could be. But the bodies were obviously found up there, so they was up there. Fossils found in northeastern Russia show that groups of dinosaurs survived in areas where, while warmer than today's Arctic, temperatures dropped to freezing many nights of the year. But the dinosaurs were a revolving cast of characters. Over the many millions of years of the dinosaur era, species came and went, and some of the most familiar had long vanished by the time it ended. Superseded by new stars. Oh, there's a comment out of period. Superseded by new stars, Stegosaurus lived in western North America about 150 million years ago, and was long gone when fellow plant-eater Triceratops appeared on the scene 82 million years later. Likewise, Velociraptor and T-Rex never could have had a carnivore encounter, because King Tyrant Lizard evolved in North America some 3 million years after the Swift Plunderer became extinct in Mongolia. But a disastrous change was coming, which, like the previous 4 planet-wide disasters, would once again reset life on Earth. Scientists think that prior extinction events had been driven mainly by factors like volcanic eruptions and the release of massive amounts of methane gas, rising or falling sea levels, climate change. Listen, all of those things can lead to climate change. I mean, come on. It's just all these things that result in climate change and climate change. Okay. Sorry. Excuse me. Climate change and dropping oxygen levels. Each extinction had caused the loss of at least 70% of all species alive at the time. Yeah, that's crazy. That's nuts. The Cretaceous Paleogene event was different. What happened nearly 66 million years ago wasn't a slow process. It was a tragedy with immediate, massive casualties everywhere on Earth, with entire species vanishing overnight. No, over time. I get ahead of when I read. I add my own words sometimes. The end of the dinosaur dynasty began on an ordinary day, with half the Earth in light and the other half in darkness. The intruder was likely an asteroid, up to 9.3 miles or 15 kilometers wide. An enormous mountain of rock hurtling silently through space. Estimated to have weighed 34 billion metric tons. The asteroid was traveling at 45,000 miles per hour when it smashed into Earth, tunneling a hole 12 miles deep and 90 miles across. The energy released in the impact was staggering, the equivalent of 10 billion atomic bombs of the type dropped on Hiroshima, exploding all at once. Soil, rocks, and remnants of the exploded asteroid immediately blasted into space. and were superheated by their interactions with the gas molecules of the planet's atmosphere as they plummeted back to Earth. Tons of glowing debris began raining from the sky, scouring the Earth and setting off fires everywhere they fell. Soot and dust filled the air and spread around the planet, darkening skies everywhere. Shock waves from the asteroid impact radiated through the Earth, triggering earthquakes and so powerful they couldn't be measured on the Richter scale, and setting off volcanoes worldwide, filling the atmosphere with even more debris, as well as methane gas. As darkness descended, the temperatures dropped. Plant photosynthesis slowed and stopped. Untold numbers of animals perished during the immediately after the impact. Eventually, 70% of all species of life, from animals to plants to microorganisms, simply disappeared as the food chain collapsed. But while the animals we think of as dinosaurs vanished, their descendants, the avian dinosaurs, managed to live on. Birds had evolved in the late Jurassic epoch, some 75 million years ago, and were the only dinosaurs to survive the fifth great extinction event. The robin of spring, the cardinal of winter, the red-tailed hawk dive-bombing a mouse scurrying through a field, are all descendants of meat-eating dinosaurs like T-Rex. Evolution, in a sense, saved the dinosaurs, shrinking their families and allowing them to fly away into open air. But bird populations are declining everywhere, their habitats disappearing at an ever-quickening pace. Meanwhile, global warming continues unchecked. As carbon dioxide builds in the atmosphere, average temperatures increase, oceans warm, and methane escapes from the melting ice at the top and bottom of the planet. We now have the unprecedented power to slow or even turn around a sixth extinction event, which scientists say is already underway and is human-driven. By changing course, we humans can defend and preserve all life on Earth, including our own. Yeah, it's bad out there. Yeah, this sucks. And while sure, I personally don't want all these critters to die either. But let's be real, nobody talking this way. Like, they ain't got no ideas. How? I'm sorry. It's we all return to monkey, or a whole lot of species is gonna die and the world's gonna get hotter, and the future is outer space. Where the last extinction come from, that's the hope for all life on this planet. It's not here. Because there's so many people like to say you can't stop progress, well, you can't stop humans from doing what they're gonna do unless you're gonna end them, right? And people who's worried about little mices in the field, like what are they gonna do to someone who just doesn't care, right? They don't care. People worried about their own future, their own life, for their own people and family. They don't give a shit about some fucking bird, man. Like, they don't give a shit. Sucks, but anyway, let's continue on with dinosaurs. T-Rex. See cover image. Let's go back to the T-Rex cover image. Yeah. at that guy. Yeah. Nom, nom, nom. He's like a dog barking. All right, let's read about T-Rex. T-Rex. Tyrannosaurus Rex. Tyrant Lizard King. T-Rex's rise to fame was set in motion in 1900 when a partial skull was found in western Wyoming. Henry Fairfield Osborn, then head of the American Museum of Natural History, named the newly discovered dinosaur by combining the Greek word tyranna and saurus, lizard. Oh, they're both Greek words. Tyrannosaurus. Tyrannus, tyrant. Saurus, lizard. Rex. The species name in Latin is king. The result is Tyrannosaurus rex, king tyrant lizard, the most memorable and apt of dinosaur names. The T-Rex was 40 feet, or 12.2 meters long, and up to 20 feet, or 6.1 meters tall. Its massive head supported an equally massive jaw, measuring 4 feet, or 1.2 meters, in length and bristling with 50 serrated teeth of various sizes. The biggest T-Rex tooth ever unearthed measured nearly 12 inches, or 31 centimeters. Those fearsome teeth, designed for gripping and tearing and chopping up animal flesh, were wielded with a bite force of more than 8,000 pounds. The deadly combination allowed T-Rex to bite off chunks of meat weighing hundreds of pounds each. For a towering, ferocious dinosaur, T-Rex had short little arms, just 3 feet or 91 centimeters long, ending in 2 fingers. The arms had a limited range of motion, but paleontologists think that they may have been good for one thing: holding on tight to prey. As a hunter, T-Rex also had more refined capabilities. The carnivore's forward-pointing eyes indicate that its vision was better than a hawk's, and its huge skull housed a relatively big brain. Some researchers think that Tyrannosaurus may have even occasionally hunted in cooperative packs. In 2005, paleontologists sampled the thigh bone of a T-Rex known as Bob and discovered medullary bone, a bone layer with extra calcium. Medullary bone appears in female birds during the egg formation period, and its presence in Bob's femur suggests that this dinosaur may have been pregnant when she died. Paleontologists say this discovery strengthens the connection between living birds and their dinosaur ancestors. And although an adult T-Rex may have been covered in scales, it's likely that it had feathers on at least some parts of its body as a young dinosaur. And we got some T-Rex information here. Size: 11,000 to 18,000 pounds, 5 to 8.2 metric tons, 15 to 20 feet, or 4.6 to 6.1 meters tall, up to 43 feet, or 12.8 meters long. Habitat: subtropical forests, bayous, and semi-arid plains. Range: North America, from Canada to Mexico. Diet: plant-eating dinosaurs, such as Triceratops and Edmontonosaurus. Really? the Edmontonosaurus. T-Rex may have both hunted and scavenged its prey. Top land speed 12 to 17 miles per hour, or 19 to 27 kilometers per hour. When they lived, from 68 to 65 million years ago in the late Cretaceous epoch. Why are we saying epoch now? Then it used to be period. You just say the Cretaceous period. Now it's Cretaceous epoch. I think epoch just it means age, right? Like the medieval epoch. You know what we're gonna call it? I don't know. Whatever. Oh, new dinosaur. New dinosaur, everybody. We got a new dinosaur. Let's check it out. Let's open it up. Oh, what we got? Oh, look at that guy. Look at him move. This reminds me of, it's like, oh, what's the movie? What's the movie with the little dinosaurs and the star leaf? Oh, it used to be one of my favorite movies when I was a kid. Then they made a whole bunch of sequels that weren't nearly as good. What was it? What was it called? I don't remember. Land Before Time? Was that what it was called? Land Before Time, maybe? I don't know, you had, I forget all the names, but I remember Ducky. Ducky was like one of them water dinosaurs, right? With like the backward facing horn on its head. And then there was the one like this, I forget its name. And then there was like a Triceratops girl. We used to have, when I was real little, we used to have they had these rubber hand puppets or plastic hand puppets. My grandparents had them. Oh my goodness. I used to play with those all the time. Stick your hand in there and you know, like your fingers would be in the head and these fingers would be like in its arms. Yeah, they used to have all of them. I don't know whatever happened to them. I don't know. But yeah, look at that. That's cool. I like that. Well, let's read about the Sauroposeidon. A herd of Sauroposeidons walks purposefully across the plain some 110 million years ago. These towering dinosaurs were true giants. If a large elephant, 13 feet, 4 meters high at the hip, could time travel back and join the procession, its head would bob along just above a Sauroposeidon's knee. Sauroposeidons. So I thought why was it called Poseidon? Isn't that like a water, like in the Poseidon, like the Greek god of the sea or something? Why is it Poseidon? Was that sorrow? Is that water lizard or lizard water or something? I don't know what Poseidon stands for. Why is it? I don't know. I'm sure there's a reason. Fucking Greek names and shit. Oh, it's going to tell us here. Sauroposeidon's name comes from sorrow, meaning lizard, and Poseidon, the Greek god of the sea. Oh, and of earthquake. Okay, so now I get it. So when it walks, it's an earthquake. Gotcha. Okay, now it makes a little more sense. It's not the sea part, it's the earthquake parts of Poseidon. Poseidon was also known as the Earth Shaker, an apt name for a dinosaur who was not only enormous, but also enormously heavy, weighing in at 120,000 pounds, or 54.4 metric tons. That's crazy, man. You couldn't even put one of those on a tractor trailer. Too heavy. Well, unless you got permits, unless you got overweight permits for it. But while Sauroposeidon isn't the most massive dinosaur ever discovered, the Argentinosaurus, weighing up to 220,000 pounds or 99.8 metric tons, that's even crazier. It may be the tallest, thanks to its impossibly long neck. It's appropriate, then, that the first sauropposeidon fossil ever found were 4 neck bones. They were discovered in 1994 by dog trainer Bobby Cross. While walking his dog across a stretch of farmland where he found fossils in the past, the vertebrae were so big, one measuring 4.6 feet or 1.4 meters long, that the paleontologist team that came to collect them thought they were petrified tree trunks. Yeah, that's huge. I can imagine they're thinking it's a tree trunk. Years later, researchers realized that the trunks were bones, and that one of them was the longest animal vertebrae ever found on Earth. Built of such colossal bones, whose honeycomb structure lightened the load, Sauropposeidon's neck stretched 39 feet or 11.9 meters, allowing the dinosaur to lift its head to nearly 60 feet, 18.3 meters. Wow, that's pretty tall. That's like 39 feet. Yeah. Oh, no, 60 feet. That's like the roof of a 5-6 story building. That's like three or four my houses stacked on top of each other. That's a big dinosaur. 18.3 meters, and to casually peer into the 6th floor window of an apartment building, as in every dinosaur movie ever. Yeah, 6-story apartment building. Nuts. That's so tall. 60 feet, man. Look at him go. To maintain its weight, a Sauropposeidon might have needed to eat 100,000 calories every day. All of it plant material. Instead of tearing off a mouthful of leaves and chewing them to a pulp, researchers say large sauropods like Sauropposeidon probably swallowed everything whole, relying on their huge intestinal system to break it all down, even if it took weeks. Wow. Since Sauropposeidons didn't require large chewing muscles, their heads were small, cheekless, and lightweight. And a small head, coupled with a very long neck, made for efficient foraging. Instead of burning calories moving its body from spot to spot, a Sauropposeidon could remain in one place, using its long neck to browse up and down and across trees and other foliage. Like all dinosaurs, Sauropposeidons hatch out of eggs. The main threat to hatchlings were carnivorous dinosaurs, so growing up fast was a must. Young Sauropposeidons gain nearly 5 pounds, 2.3 kilos a day, reaching their adult weight in less than 20 years. Wow. That's a fast growing dino. Let's get to the size information here. Size 110,250 to 130. I don't know why you even put 200. Why you say 110,000 to 132,000 pounds? Why you add in these little bits extra that don't? I mean, with something weighs 110,000 pounds to 100, an extra 250 or 300 pounds is nothing. It doesn't matter. It's a rounding error. Come on, get that shit out of there. Or 50 to 60 metric tons. That's probably why. Because they're estimating at 50, 60, and it's like, oh, well, that's 50 metric tons, and that's 60 metric tons, so we got to put in the extra. No, just leave it out. It don't matter. It don't matter. 20 to 23 feet, or 6.1 to 7 meters, high at the shoulders, and 49 feet, or 18 meters, to the top of the extended head, up to 110 feet, or 33.5 meters long. Habitat: subtropical forests, swamps, bayous, and floodplains. Range: North America, Fossils have been found in Oklahoma, Texas, and Wyoming. Diet: plants including conifers, mosses, ferns, horsetails, and the first flowering trees such as palms, magnolias, and sycamores. Top land speed: slow, possibly 3.1 miles or miles per hour, or 5 kilometers per hour. Threats: carnivorous dinosaurs were threats to very young sauroposeidons. When they lived: 110 million years ago, in the early Cretaceous epoch. Look at them go. Look at those guys go. Those are some big dinos. All right, let's go to the next one. Next dinosaur. Let's see. What's the next dinosaur? It's that one. That's that's cool looking. It's one of got the plates on the back. We got the Stegosaurus. The Stegosaurus. Stegosaurus walks slowly down a path. The fan-shaped plates arrayed along its neck, back, and tail swaying with each step. Some 150 million years ago, this might have been a common sight in parts of western United States. Fossilized Stegosaurus bones have been unearthed in Wyoming, Utah, and in Colorado, which in 1982 named Stegosaurus its official state dinosaur. Official state dinosaur, that's cool. I didn't know states had official dinosaurs. The first fragments of a Stegosaurus skeleton were uncovered in 1886 outside the town of Morrison, Colorado. Paleontologist, oh my goodness, Othniel Charles Marsh named the creature Stegosaurus, meaning roofed lizard. An examination of the skeleton revealed that this dinosaur had armor like bony plates. The largest was 2.5 feet or 76 centimeters long. Marsh thought that the plates had lain in flat rows, like roof tiles, against the dinosaur's body. Later fossil finds, however, revealed that they stood up vertically, in alternating rows, like a bony mohawk hairdo. What they were for is still debated, but some paleontologists say the plates were very protective since they left dinosaurs ample sides vulnerable to attack. The plates were crisscrossed by blood vessels, and some think they might have helped cool the animal on hot days, diffusing heat like an elephant's ears. And perhaps they might have blushed red in a threat display. But many paleontologists believe that the distinctive plates were mostly for show. A way for other dinosaurs, including potential mates, to identify one of their own. The Stegosaurus was a slow-moving herbivore with pig-like teeth and toothless beak. Its small head and lime-sized brain were paired with an elephant body, up to 30 feet, 9.1 meters long. Stegosauruses grazed low-lying plants and occasionally, perhaps, protein-rich shellfish. Meat-eating dinosaurs like Allosaurus and Ceratosaurus, or maybe that's not Ceratosaurus, Ceratosaurus, I don't know, were lurking dangers for stegosaurs. Both ran swiftly, sprinting at 35 miles per hour or 56 kilometers per hour on their powerful hind legs. Both had jaws full of dozens of sharp teeth. Ceratosaurus also brandished a large horn on its snout. But like another intimidating herbivore, the modern rhinoceros, Stegosaurus turned fierce when threatened. It's strong. Words, man, they're hard. Words are hard. Its strong, flexible tail was weighted near the end with a forbidding set of pointed spikes, which scientists examined. When scientists examined the pelvis of an Allosaurus, they found a deep wound in the bone in the exact shape of a Stegosaurus's tail spike. In 2007, researchers in Colorado found 2 tiny 3-toed footprints in a boulder, each just a bit bigger than a U.S. quarter. Some of the first steps taken by a baby Stegosaurus. The prints were mingled with those of adult and juvenile dinosaurs, hinting that Stegosauruses traveled in herds like elephants. Baby Stegosaurus. I bet they're so cute. Let's look at him. Yeah, look at him go, Stegosaurus. Let's read the size here. Here we go. Size 12,000 to 15,000 pounds, or 5.4 to 6.8 metric tons. 9 feet, 27 meters high at the hip. Or 2.7 meters high at the hip. 26 to 30 feet, or 7.9 to 9.1 meters long. Habitat, semi-arid open woodlands. Range, United States, including Colorado, Utah, Wyoming. Fossils have also been found in Portugal. Diet, low-lying plants, including mosses, ferns, horsetail rushes, cycads, I'm not sure what that is, small conifers and shrubs, occasionally shellfish. Top land speed was 5 miles per hour, or 8.1 kilometers an hour. Threats, carnivorous dinosaurs, especially Allosaurus and Ceratauruses. Excuse me. When they lived, from 161.2 to 145.5 million years ago in the late Jurassic epoch. All right. Next dino. What's the next dinosaur in our book? Let's see. The next dinosaur is. Look at the guy eating a bush. The Euraptor. Right? I don't know if that's how you say it. Something like that. The Euraptor. Eoraptor. Let's see. The Eoraptor swashbuckling. The Eoraptor's swashbuckling and rather romantic scientific name, the Eoraptor lunensis, means dawn plunderer of the moon. When Euraptor's fossilized skeleton was first discovered in 1991, the diminutive dinosaur was thought to have been a carnivore plunderer from the quote dawn of the age of dinosaurs. The fossil was found in Valle de la Luna, Valley of the Moon, a park in northwestern Argentina, whose airy boulder strewn landscape resembles the surface of the moon. Okay. Eerie, not airy. Eerie, we'll say the word right. A park in northwestern Argentina whose eerie boulder strewn landscape resembles the surface of the moon. Okay. Words said properly correct. All right. Valle de la Luna, paleontologists say, is a graveyard of some of the very first dinosaurs to walk on Earth. Rewinding the clock of geologic history over hundreds of millions of years, we would see this valley transformed from a rocky desert into a more humid, forested plain where heavy rains often fell, where Euraptors sprinted across it. The land was part of western Gondwana, the ancient southern hemisphere continent. Despite its name, Euraptor wasn't part of the raptor family of dinosaurs. Der Dromaeosauridae, I don't know, something like that. Dromaeosauridae, which would evolve millions of years later. A raptor was one of the earliest dinosaurs, living some 228 million years ago. It was also one of the smallest, at just 3 to 4 feet, or 1.9 to 1.2 meters long, 18 inches, 46 centimeters high at the hip, and only about 22 pounds or 10 kilograms. A full-grown Euraptor was the size of a slender, medium-sized dog. But unlike a dog, this reptile walked and ran fast, on 2 feet. Its long legs were hollow-boned, and each foot had 3 clawed toes. Euraptor's arms were short and ended in 5-fingered hands. Interesting. We have 5 fingers. We have 5 fingers. 5 fingers. This dinosaur had 5 fingers. Coincidence? I don't know. Maybe. The last 2 fingers on each hand were tiny, but the first 3 were large, with sharp, curving claws, the better, perhaps, to grab the nearest small prey. Still, it seems that Euraptor may not have been exclusively or even mainly a carnivore. According to the tale told by its teeth, meat eaters often have sharp, dagger-like teeth, while herbivores usually have blunt choppers. Euraptor had heterodonth teeth, a mix of shapes. This mini dinosaur had sharp, backwards curving teeth with serrated edges, useful for tearing at meat, but it also had rounded, leaf-shaped teeth, perfect for pulverizing plant matter. Many paleontologists have concluded that Euraptor was actually a omnivore. And since it was both small and swift, Euraptors may also have been a scavenger, stealing other predators' leftovers in its spare time. Because this tiny dinosaur was so primitive, with its features considered generic compared to those of later dinosaurs, paleontologists haven't agreed on its relationship to the latecomers. Euraptor is likely to have been a sauropodomorph, part of a group of dinosaurs that would later include 40,000-pound plant-eating Apatosaurus. Apatosaurus. So it was a small boy. Look at him eating that plant there. Let's get close. Yum yum yum. Let's watch him eat fast. Super fast eater. It's not even. I can't even tell how well it's coming across on the camera. It just looks like his head's going down and coming up. Like when it goes fast. It's like it happened one time on this camera here. But it's happened a whole bunch of times. Alright, next dinosaur. What's the next dinosaur? You know, Tyrannosaurus. Roar into the next. Look at that. Oh, yeah. Triceratops. Look at that. That's cool. See if we can go really slow. Just get all that detail in there. Oh, yeah. Look how cool that is. Alright, Triceratops. A fuming Triceratops stalks up to a rival, ready to do battle, and literally lock horns. In a prehistoric forest, Triceratops was a ceratopsid, part of the family of North American horned dinosaurs. Its name comes from Greek words that together mean three-horned face. That's true. It's got three horns. That's very, very well named. Triceratops's long forehead horns, diminutive nose horn, and bony shield make it one of the most recognizable dinosaurs on Earth. When the first fossil turned up in Colorado in 1887, two horns attached to part of a skull, paleontologist... Oh, it's Marsh again. Othanol Charles Marsh thought that it had come from an enormous bison. But as more bones were uncovered, it became clear that they all belonged to a dinosaur, one very successful at populating western North America. The original fossil's coarse texture suggests its species name Horridus, Latin for rough. Through the years, fossil after fossil, including a complete skeleton, has turned up, a rarity for amateur dinosaur hunters. With many bones to study, paleontologists have been able to reconstruct the entire life cycle of a Triceratops from infant to juvenile to adult. A fully grown Triceratops might be 30 feet or 9.1 meters long and weigh more than 20,000 pounds, 9.1 metric tons. Its massive head measures up to 5 feet or 1.5 meters wide and 8 feet or 2.4 meters long. Triceratops would have spent its days grazing in low-lying plains, using its beak to tear off mouthfuls of leaves, then slicing them up with its many rows of teeth. No one knows whether Triceratopses congregated in herds, but they may have traveled in families, since fossils of 2 adults and a small juvenile were found together in 2012. Before they became enormous grown-ups, juveniles Triceratopses apparently hung out together. One group of 3 were found in Montana. As young dinosaurs grew, So did their frills. These bony plates on the back of their skull could measure up to 6 feet or 1.8 meters across by adulthood. Attractive to potential mates, the frills helped identify members of the same species. It was also protection, useful in a fight, and a shield for Triceratops' vulnerable neck. Some of those battles were with rivals or mates. Others were movie-style run-ins with ferocious T-Rex, but Triceratops' sharp forehead horns, up to 3 feet or 90 centimeters wide, were a deterrent. The carnivore was hungry, but it wanted to avoid being gored. Although some matchups ended badly for Triceratops, this dinosaur was a survivor, roaming the forests of North America for nearly 3 million years, right up until the extinction event that ended dinosaur life on Earth. Three-horned face was in the end one of the last dinosaurs standing. Let's see, look at that. That's a cool picture. That's a cool one. Let's see here. Size 13,000 to 26,000 pounds, or 5.9 to 11.8 metric tons. 9.5 to 9.8 feet, or 2.9 to 3 meters tall. Oh, so they weren't very tall at all. They were like, I mean, there's only 10 feet. Not a huge. 26 to 30 feet long, or 7.9 to 9.1 meters long. Habitat: woodlands, river valleys, and marshes. Range: North America. Fossils have been found from Colorado to western Canada. Diet: ferns, cicadas, and other low-growing plants. Top land speed less than 20 miles per hour or 32 kilometers per hour. Threat: carnivorous dinosaurs including T-Rex. When they lived, from 68 to 65 million years ago during the late Cretaceous epoch. Alright. Alright, next dinosaur. Only got a few more. I think we've done what? 1, 2, 3. How many more we got? 1, 2, 3 more dinosaurs. We got 3 more dinosaurs. All right. The next dinosaur is bum bum bum. Haha! Look at him. Velociraptor. He's a feathery dino. Alright, Velociraptor. In the Jurassic Park movies, the Velociraptors were big, scaly creatures that were actually modeled after a different dinosaur. Deinonychus. Maybe? Deinonychus, maybe? I don't know. Discovered in Montana. Deinonychus was 11 feet, 3.4 meters long, and weighed several hundred pounds. But while both Deinonychus and Velociraptor were bird-like carnivores of the, oh my goodness, Dromaeosauridae family. Okay. Oh. Let's see. Of the Dromaeosauridae family, the real Velociraptor was only 3 feet, 0.9 meters tall, and weighed at most 40 pounds, or 18 kilograms. Facts that have led some people to compare it to a turkey. Velociraptors, however, were more than 6 feet, 1.8 meters long, and turkeys don't have arms. Dozens of serrated teeth, hook and slash feet, and a propensity for racing through the darkness at up to 40 miles per hour or 64 kilometers an hour, chasing down a late dinner. The name velociraptor comes from the Latin words volux, meaning swift, and raptor, meaning plunderer or robber. Boom, I already lost my spot. There it is. The first of these small but deadly dinosaurs was discovered in the Mongolian Gobi Desert in 1923 by an expedition run by the American Museum of Natural History. Paleontologists named it Velociraptor mongoliensis. Paleontologists named it Velociraptor mongoliensis. All that the explorers found of the ancient raptor was a smashed skull and one big, sharp, sickle-shaped claw. In 2007, paleontologists found quill knobs on a fossilized raptor forearm bone, showing that the swift robber wore feathers. Velociraptors couldn't fly, although their ancestors probably did. But their plumage may have attracted mates, and the dinosaurs probably relied on their feathered arms to protect their eggs. Large clawed hands, each bearing 3 talons, were held with the palms facing inward, and it as if ready to grab. Large clawed hands, each bearing 3 talons, were held with the palms facing inward. Like that. Palms facing inward. As if ready to grab something or someone. Velociraptor had even more menacing feet. Yeah, I'm not a feet person, so don't if you're a feet person, beware of velociraptors, because they're gonna menace you with their feet, by the sound of it. It strode along on its 3rd and 4th clawed toes. Its first toe was just a dew claw. The second toe was topped by a long, thick, sickle-shaped claw. Whether velociraptors walked or ran, the claw was held always aloft, primed to hook prey. Since this dinosaur had extra large eyes, paleontologists think it did most of its hunting at night. While movies have portrayed the velociraptor hunting in packs like lions, some paleontologists point out that no modern reptile or birds team up to hunt. But when a Komodo dragon stalks and kills a prey animal, other hungry dragons do rush in to fight over the carcass. A scene that could have played out among the raptors, too. Velociraptors could also have gathered to scavenge an already dead dinosaur, such as an unlucky Protoceratops. Yeah. Of course, velociraptors and Dionysus Dionyscus, whatever. We're not the only. Oh my goodness, Dormausaurus, Dormausaurus. of the Cretaceous epoch. Freaking words, man. Alright, where was I? The Cretaceous epoch. Bird like dinosaurs lived nearly everywhere on Earth and came in all sizes. From the 2-pound Microraptor to the 1,000-pound Utah raptor, whose toe claws were more than 9 inches long. Wow. Let's see here. Let's look at him again. Get a close up. That raptor, yeah, look at that. He's just so cool. I like this so much. This is the kind of thing that, not the specific, but the like a velociraptor or whatever, but these kind of moving pictures. I always said if I'd get a tattoo when I always said when I was like a kid. Like, I said I'd get it tattooed when I could do that, when I could get a skull, and as I flexed my arm, the fire behind it would move like this. I always thought that'd be cool. Well, when I was little. Now I don't. Not a big tattoo person. I don't think they're cool at all anymore. But when we're young, we think lots of dumb stuff is cool. So let's see. Size 30 to 43 pounds, or 14 to 20 kilograms. 18 inches, or 46 centimeters high at the shoulders, up to 6.8 feet, or 3.1 meters long. Habitat: desert with high sand dunes. Range: Mongolia and China. Diet: reptiles, amphibians, insects, mammals, and other dinosaurs. Top land speed: perhaps 40 miles per hour, or 64, I think that means kilometers per hour, but they put it in miles per hour as well. Oh no, perhaps 40 miles per hour or 64 miles per hour in short bursts. Okay, so I don't know. That should be kilometers an hour, right? Everything else in parameters is in, the metric system. So I assume that means 64 kilometers an hour in short bursts. When they lived from 75 to 71 million years ago in the late Cretaceous epoch. I need to get a drink here. My mouth is getting dry. All right. All right. Let's see. We got 2 more, I think. Yeah, 2 more. Here we go. What's our next dinosaur? Roar. Hey. Look at that. It's the let's see. Parasaurolophus. Parasaurolophus. That's what. Remember when I was talking earlier about Land Before Time? That's Ducky. That's the Ducky from that movie. They got them big backwards horns. Hey, Ducky. Hey, Ducky. All right, let's read about Parasaurolophus. Parasaurolophus. Let's read about them. A long, long time ago, it's springtime in North America, and 2 Parasaurolophuses are in love. This duck-billed dinosaur, with tongue-twisting name, roamed North America in great herds some 70 million years ago. The first Parasaurolophus was unearthed in 1920 in Alberta, Canada, when a field extension from the University of Toronto found a skull and partial skeleton. Since its fossils resembled that of another duck-billed dinosaur, or hard hadrosaur called Saurolopus, crested lizard. Paleontologists named it Parasaurolopus, near crested lizard. The species name, Walkeri, was a tribute to Sir Byron Edmund Walker, an amateur arthro, anthropologist, words, man. Words are the worst. Right next to right behind numbers. They're the worst. Right behind numbers. Anthropologists. There we go. Anthropologists, and benefactor of the Royal Ontario Museum in Toronto. Parasaurolopus was a giant herbivore, 30 feet or 9.1 meters long and weighing up to 56,000 pounds, 2,540 kilograms. In its leisurely grazing, it might have ambled along on all four legs, but to escape a marauding predator like the terrifying T-Rex, it probably stood up on its two back legs and ran as fast as it could. That's good thinking, buddy. I would do that too. Run fast. When browsing for dinner, I already forgot how to say it, Parasaurolopus poked its long beak into bushes and trees and tore off vegetation. As it laboriously ground and swallowed plant matter day after day, eating massive amounts to maintain its massive body. The dinosaur teeth gradually wore down. But Parasaurolopus' teeth were more sophisticated than those of modern herbivores. Comprised of 6 different materials, buffalo teeth have 4. Some 300 teeth were packed into the dinosaur's jaw, as if on an assembly line in a tooth factory. I'm sorry, I think that's funny. I just see like this jaw with stacks of teeth lined up underneath it, and then just slowly moving up like an assembly line in a tooth factory. Excuse me. 300 teeth packed, as if on an assembly line in a tooth factory. New teeth moved into place as others wore down, creating an uneven surface of old and new teeth that functioned like a grinding file. Parasaurolopolis was part of the group of hadrosaurs that had bony head crests, which came in all sizes and shapes. Hadrosaurs' beaks also varied, and some were not especially duck-like. Still, the duckbill designation led to the idea, once popular, that these dinosaurs were semi-aquatic, and that some might have even walked on giant webbed feet. Some people even thought the crest was a snorkel, enabling the several-ton dinosaur to cruise along underwater. That's cool, built-in snorkel. That makes tons of sense. As it turns out, Parasaurolopolis' feet were actually more camel-like than duck-like, and its long crest was solidly closed at the end. Oh, that stinks. Paleontologists think that the crest was a way for the dinosaur to identify others of its own species and attract mates. But they also think the slim, curved crest was a sound-producing device, like a woodwind instrument. Its hollow chambers led down into the dinosaur's nose, and when a big breath of air entered, the crest resonated inside, producing an eerie, deep, trumpeting sound which traveled over long distances. That's cool. So it was like some kind of weird instrument. So the air would go in and then have to come back out because they said it's closed off, so the air has got nowhere to go except back out where it came in. How are you gonna do that? How does that make any sense for an instrument? I don't know, but the people who know this stuff said that's apparently how it is. I guess they're fighting over something. That's not nearly as cool as the Triceratops. Anyway, let's get to this stuff. Size 5,600 pounds or 2.5 metric tons. 9 feet or 2.7 meters high at the hip. 31 feet or 9.5 meters long. Habitat: forested river valleys, floodplains, and swamps. Range: North America, from New Mexico to northwest Canada. Diet: plants including leaves, pine needles, and twigs. Top land speed: unknown, perhaps 25 miles per hour, 40 kilometers an hour. Threats: carnivorous dinosaurs, including Tyrannosaurus rex. When they lived: from 70.5 to 66.5 million years ago in the late Cretaceous epoch. And we've got one dinosaur left. We got one dinosaur left in our cool foticular dinosaur book. Oh, that's right. I gotta move this. One more dinosaur in our foticular book. What is it? Let's see. It is, I don't know. That's what is that? Why is that? This is definitely probably my least favorite of all of the foticulars because it's just a head like moving about. Like, what is that? Oh, I know what this is after I see the name. It's the Protoceratops. The Protoceratops. All right. The odd-looking Protoceratops roamed the deserts of Mongolia more than 70 million years ago. Its forbidding looks might suggest a larger rhino-sized body, but Protoceratops was actually the size of a bighorn sheep. Pet dinosaur. Pet dinosaurs, that's what we need. Anybody in China, we need teacup T-Rexes, and we need sheep ceratopses, okay? This is what we need. Teacup T-Rexes, or teacup Rexes, is that all? Teacup Rexes and sheep ceratopses. The future of pets. Get on it. This dinosaur belonged to a group of early ceratopsians, horned dinosaurs that would later produce the iconic Triceratops. The name Protoceratops means first horned face. There are 2 known species. Okay. Oh, great. Itchy. 2 known species. P. andrewsi, I don't even know. Discovered in 1922. And the larger P. helicorinus, helicorinus, found in 2001. P. andrewis was discovered in the Gobi Desert by a caravan of American fossil hunters. Wait a minute, I'm getting confused. Was it discovered by a group of people called a caravan? Or was it discovered by like there was a caravan going by and someone then discovered it? I'm getting confused, man. These words are getting to my head, dude. And why would you call a group of people like a caravan? What? That's just a weird way to call a group unless they're on a caravan, and then these Americans, they would be caravanning to somewhere, and then they found this. Like, so I don't know why. I'm so confused. I'm just confusing myself now, man. Where was I? Caravan. Or are we talking about what the British call a caravan? A freaking RV. Did they find it next to an RV? Is that what we're talking about? Is that what they're talking about? I don't know. Where are we at? Boom, 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 boom. Discovered by a caravan of American fossil hunters. What? Why care? I know I'm stuck on this, but it's like, what? It doesn't make sense to me. Because I think a caravan, I think like people on a bunch of camels traveling across the desert. That's a caravan, right? And I guess if they were traveling in the desert, that's probably what they were doing. They're probably in their like caravan. But why would you call them a group as a group a caravan? That's because a caravan is. I don't. Man, get over it, man. Get over it. Stop it. We need to stop focusing on caravan. The expedition's members, headed by explorer and naturalist Roy Chapman Andrews, had been hoping to find fossils of early hominids. Instead, they stumbled upon a treasure trove of dinosaurs. Protoceratops had prominent, pointed cheekbones protruding in bony ridges under its eyes. The bump on its snout only hinted at the horn that would evolve in later generations, but it made up for its lack of a threatening horn with its huge, sharp beak, also handy for lopping off desert vegetation. A very strong jaw with dozens of long teeth provided chewing power. All were housed in a large, elongated head, with the skull ending in an elaborate frill structure. The frill, which resembles a medieval headdress, grew along with the animal. The bigger the Protoceratops, the larger and longer its frill. When a feature develops, where did I go? I looked away. When a feature develops this way, paleontologists say it often indicates that its main value is in attracting mates, while warding off threats and rivals. As with many modern birds, Protoceratops males may have been more colorful than females, perhaps especially when it came to their frills. Paleontologists think that frilled dinosaurs traveled the Gobi Desert in large herds, which provided some protection from carnivorous dinosaurs. Two finds are among the most striking in paleontology. In 1971, a Protoceratops was found frozen in struggle with a velociraptor, a fossil tableau of a pitched battle some 74 million years ago. The velociraptor has a claw hooked into the herbivore's neck, and the Protoceratops has seized the carnivore's feathered arm in its beak. Scientists think the struggling pair may have been buried in a flood of wet sand. In 2011, paleontologists announced another major discovery: a nest containing fossils of 15 young Protoceratops. The infant dinosaurs may have died when they were buried by a collapsing dune in a sandstorm. The large number in the nest may indicate that Protoceratops' parents took care of the young rather than leaving them to fend for themselves. Well, they're good parents. That's a good thing. Let's see here. Let's read about the size. Size, less than 400 pounds. That's a perfect pet size. That's perfect pet size. up to 6.4 feet or 2 meters long, about 2 feet or 61 centimeters high at the shoulder. Habitat, deserts with dunes that might reach 80 feet. With dunes that might have reached 80 feet or 24.4 meters high. Range, Mongolia and China. Diet, unknown desert vegetation. Top land speed, unknown, thought to be slow. Threats, carnivorous dinosaurs, such as Velociraptor. Why did I end that with a question? Such as Velociraptor. When they lived 75 to 71 million years ago, during the late Cretaceous epoch. Alright, that's the end. That's the last dinosaur in the dinosaur book. That's a fun book. I like that book. They also had, I got this at the Costco. That's not too bad. I only found, well, was there only, at least for me, being dumb, I only noticed one mistake. And that was they didn't change, was that when during the Velociraptor, when it was 40 miles per hour, and then parentheses, 64 miles per hour, instead of 64 kilometers an hour. And that's the only mistake I noticed. I mean, aside from, like, whatever that may have been wrong about dinosaurs. I don't know. But that's a cool book. I liked that book. They also had, in addition to this one, they also had one that was safari. So, like, I think it was safari. So, like, cheetahs and wildebeest and shit, I think, probably. I didn't really look at that one. And they had another one that was jungle. I think it was jungle. So that one would have, like, tigers and snakes and shit in it. But I got dinosaur, because dinosaur was the best one. Because dinosaur had T-Rex on the cover. Yeah, look at that T-Rex. Look at that guy go. So cool. So cool. I've always liked this kind of moving pictures. Those are so neat. Well, that's all. That's what I did this stream for today. I just wanted to show my cool dinosaur book and read it. I hope anybody sees this, enjoys the cool dinosaur book. Let's see, what time is it? It's 3:30. That's not too late. I don't know. Maybe I'll do something else. Maybe I'll do another stream, play a game or something. I don't know. Maybe try and give away some games. But that's all for this one. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you have a good day. Alright? Hope you have a good rest of your day, and take care out there. Until next time, goodbye.